If I could just hold on to that feeling. Keep it with me always. Bind it to my very being. Then
I felt it too.
Yeah, baby! Howdy y'all, I'm Adam the Renaissance Nerd, and welcome my lords and ladies to Rings of Power Episode 6 review. Well now, they went and did it again. They shattered some lore. They got me. I'm gonna admit it right here, right now. They got me. They explained the trenches and the tunnels. It's stupid, but they explained it. At the same time, we once again are treated to the fact that the people in charge of this show have no idea, A, how the passage of time works, and B, the geography of the very world they're playing with. Oh, we're going to get into it. It's a very easy episode to get through, guys, for the simple fact there is just the one plot today. The single plot. The battle for the three-housed hamlet that shouldn't matter at all. And there's a lot of logical fallacies. There's a lot of questions. There's a ton of bad choreography. And there's some cut, copy, paste too, whatever you want to call it. It's there. Terrible dialogue. Thirst abounding all over the place. People are horny and they want to have at it, but they're interrupted. And, oh yeah, Halbrand is Sauron. Halbrand is Sauron. Granted, it doesn't quite happen, but again, it's all right there in front of you. If you still think he isn't, get a clue. Get a clue. All right, let's get into this. Let's have some fun ripping this show apart. You know the show is bad when you're laughing throughout the whole thing. I was laughing at this whole episode. From the cringe to the situations to the fact that people you're supposed to be rooting for are getting the crap beat out of them. People are nearly dying that you're supposed to be afraid they might die. I'm cheering for these assholes to all die because they all suck and they're terrible and it's cringe. You've done something wrong when during perilous moments your audience is laughing and cheering on the bad guys. Team Sauron, Sauron did nothing wrong.
Despise not the labor which humbles the heart. Humility has saved entire kingdoms, the proud have all but led to ruin.
We're obviously not quite there yet, but what the hell does this insufferable bitch know about being humble and humility? Wow, talk about being unself-aware. We're going to get to that, though. I wanted that to open our section here. We pick up literally where we left off last week. Remember, the Númenóreans have set sail from Númenor with their 3 ships loaded down with hundreds of troops and clearly hundreds of horses. Oh my God, there is no way they could fit the horses that we see on those 3 tiny-ass ships, let alone 300 people. All right, this is going to be fun, guys. It really is. They just set sail. Remember, the orcs are literally at the doorstep of the watchtower when we ended last episode. And the Númenóreans just set sail. If you are to believe that all these moments are synced up, and the sighting of Meteor Man, Mr. Wizard falling to Earth linked everything up in episode 2. Linked it all up. Or was it? No, 1. Sorry, it was 1. End of episode 1. It all blurs together. Give me a break. Meteor Man, Mr. Wizard, Gandalf gonna be, links everything together in the single moment of time. Over and over again, these idiot writers, these hacks, these showrunners, these morons, these bad reboot rejects forget that it takes time to get places. Last week, if you watched This Is Mordor Country, we covered the distance between Númenor and Middle-earth. It's weeks, if not months, by ship to get to the coastline of where this is taking place. Remember that. They just left. They're going to get there just in time. We begin with Adar, who we're going to get some explanation for now, why he is called Father Adar. It's dumb. And I guarantee it probably lore breaks the hell out of everything. You get a close-up of him playing with dirt and dropping seeds in and saying a line that's going to come back before, in the face of death, we plant new life, or some stupid saying shit. This has some more hack dialogue. Basically, with death will come new life, that kind of shit. And here come the orcs, led by Adar, marching on the tower. The door's wide open. They walk in. Fat orc says the elf is gone. He here, but Adar goes, no, I can smell him. He's here. And there's Arendir. Pops up, still holding his bow like a moron, according to every bow expert I've either seen or spoken to. I've spoken to one or two people who have explained how a bow works. And a couple times I've done a little archery in my past as well. That ain't what you do. But he's going to do it over and over again in this episode. Arendir pops up, plinks off a couple of orcs, and then initiates their grand master plan, which to me doesn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense. What does he do? He fires an arrow, tipped with flame, to hit a rope that is holding together the entire watchtower. Hold the phone, hold the boat, hold the ship to Valinor. Please explain to me how this tower has lasted for centuries, held up by rope. Think about it. Weather would have long since worn it away. How is a stone tower for centuries being held up by rope so that a single arrow breaking the winch that's holding it together, once that goes away, suddenly it's all going to collapse? And that was their big plan. Remember, I was either on my review or this Mortal Country, I said, I bet they're going to do something like collapsing the tower. The receipts are there. Just go find it. Probably at the end of the review or the end of Mortal Country when we were talking about that scene. And here it is. He collapses the tower on the orcs, and Arendir flits away back to town. La-di freaking da. Let's see what happens there. Yeah, la-di freaking da. He flits away, and you're watching now from town, or not town. They're watching from the distance. Now, here's the big question. With the orcs marching on them, we saw it last week. They were at the doorstep. How did all these hicks sneak out of the tower? How did they get by the orcs? Don't think, just consume, because now it's all set up, because now we have to have our mini Helm's Deep in the three-housed hamlet and one barn, I think. This tiny little nowhere middle of bumblefuck town or village with three houses that we can see and one barn. We're going to get a good look at the layout of that. We're going to get back to that. Anyway, you got baby mama Bronwyn standing there saying, the plan has worked, and now it's up to us. We must get back to town. Why are you going back to town? Run for your lives! What are you fighting for? There's no food left there. It's not good shelter anymore. What? Run in the opposite direction. Oh no, but they've got the key to, well, the key. We're gonna get to that. They've got the key, so they have to protect the key. Oh, Lord, it just gets dumber. Okay, we are now cut. One of the few cuts where we're going to separate. It's why it's an easy episode to cover. There's not a lot of cuts. It was an easy director episode, I guess. We're back at sea, and the sea is always right. Look at these ships. I want you to take a nice close look at these ships and how they're structured, how deep. Those hulls are not deep. They are not sinking far into the water. To borrow a line from Doctor Who, these ships are not bigger on the inside. They are not. Isildur wakes up, decides to go start his day's duty by mucking out the barn or the stable. Because there are stables on these ships. Again, look how much room there is between his head and the roof of this stable inside the ships. A stable that needs to be housing at minimum 50 horses. For the cavalry, they are 30 to 50 horses for the cavalry they're going to marshal later on in this episode. And it's an all cavalry army. There are no foot soldiers. It's an all cavalry army. Where is there any possible room for the horses and the men and the supplies on these 3 ships that I just showed you? There is no room. These people have no concept of how anything should work in the real world. Don't think, just consume. Isildur finishes his duties. He wanted to get up early because he wanted to see land. He comes up on deck, and there is, now we call her Guyladriel Warrior Queen because she's gotten her upgrades. She's Guyladriel Warrior Queen. She says, "Oh, I have never seen you before. Oh, you're Elinda's boy. Oh, you look like your father. People say I look like my mother." Anyway, he comes up because he wanted to see land first, and she says, "Oh, your human eyes should see it soon." He goes, "Your elf eyes can see it?" "Oh, yes, I've seen it for the past hour," reminding us how better than everybody else she is. It's not going to end. They have a really lame conversation about why he wants to be there, not because he wants to fight. It's a lot of mumbo-jumbo crap, really crappy dialogue. And then you get that line that I showed you in the clip there, where she asks what his duty is, says, "I'm a stable hand." And she tells him, humble work is good work. It teaches humility, and it allows people to not suffer pride and have the fall. Who the hell are you to be lecturing anybody about humility and being humble and not having pride? 6 episodes in, all she's done is be a pride-filled, insufferable bitch to everybody to get her way. She has had... What growth has she had to understand what humility and being humble is? None. I dare you, stands and shills, to point out a scene, a real scene, an actual dialogue that isn't this thick. Only that little bit of thin skin deep. Tell me, show me where she has earned that line. She has never been humbled. Because remember, she escaped from jail not once but twice. She bullied and beat up everybody. She showed everybody up. She's gotten her way no matter what, being an insufferable bitch. Not being humble, not finding humility, but being prideful. Show me. You can't. Sun rises. Here it comes. He's, "Oh, I see this land. It's so great." But then here comes Elinda. Says, "Soldier, get back to your post." And Isildur bows his head and scampers away. And then we have Guyladriel asking Elinda what happened to his mother. And Elinda dodges it by talking about something stupid. It's really inane. Something about horses, I think. I don't know. I just honestly, it's gone. It's gone. And I didn't rewatch that clip before doing this. It's gone. Either way, it's a stupid conversation. He dodges the question and walks away to go inform the Queen Regent. They are near. We get a quick little clip of Muriel saying, "Thank you. We need to hurry up and make land because the Watchtower is still a day's ride away." Even when they're giving us a time frame from which they are going to travel from one place to the other, they still fail to realize, wow, understand what it would take to ride at full gallop for a day. Back to the village that doesn't matter, where baby mama Bronwyn and Arondir are ready to lead their ragtag bumbling bumblefuck Hicks to victory. Or not.
We survived them before. Now we must do so again. Tonight.
Our position gives us an advantage.
Okay, this is the meat of the episode, my friends. This is where we will spend a lot of our time. It begins here. First of all, also, here is the first of many lame member-berry attempts to try and make you think of the Peter Jackson trilogy. Remember, this sword is supposed to have been forged by Sauron. Arondir opens this scene trying to break it over and over again with a hammer until the hammer breaks. Gee, what other scene was there where somebody tried to break a creation of Sauron's with a hammer and it broke? Oh, who cares? It's not like it's been done before. Up comes baby mama Bronwyn. Starts to tell him, it starts with a bunch of, what can we do with this? There's no stopping it. This thing cannot be broken by our means, blah, blah, blah. He says he has to go hide it. Gotta go hide it. Can you tell me where you're gonna hide it? No, not even you can know. Really lame. Now we get a quick little montage of everybody getting ready for battle. Because they've got a plan, guys. They've got a plan. First of all, you're watching them. It has been it took them what? Maybe 2 or 3 hours to get from the watchtower to this village. And they have maybe 12 hours till nightfall when the orcs are going to come back. I asked the question first. How do the orcs know they're there in the first place? No. You get this montage of people building or crafting arrowheads and swords and forging stuff. How is there enough time for any of that? How is there enough time for anything they're doing here? And also, where are the supplies for this? This town was looted already. There's no food. There's nothing there. Where are they getting the supplies to do any of this? Where are they getting these weapons that they're forging? Where are they getting the metal to forge weapons, arrowheads? Where are they having the time to make the fletchings for the arrows? And where is the time needed to prepare a plan such as this? Where are they getting the pitch that they're clearly coating these wagons with to light them on fire? Where are they getting all this? This town was looted by the orcs days ago. And there's no food. Nothing. But they're giving the rousing speech. You saw the rousing speech. Arondir and Bronwyn together are talking as though they have the greatest plan in the world. And Arondir has the nerve to say, "We have the advantage." Oh, really? We're going to get to that in a second. We got to get through some shit dialogue first. We cut to talking about, they mentioned, and they have the nerve to call their tavern, "This tavern is now our keep." What the hell? This is so stupid. All right. We got to get through some dumb dialogue. What we have now is first, badass teenage mustache Theo wants to join the front lines, says, "I'm not hurt, I'm not injured, I'm capable of fighting." And in classic bad dialogue fashion, they say, she gives him the tried and true speech of, "I need your strength to defend the people inside the keep." She literally says something like that. "I need you, you are strong, you're ready to fight, that's why I need you to defend them in the keep." It's a tavern! Shut up! Then we cut to Arondir getting ready for the fight. He's hidden the key by now, the blade. Here comes Bronwyn, and the thirst, the hunger, the horny is palpable. You can taste it. She's excreting the pheromones. He is hungry for it, and they're talking. And as they're talking about what they're going to do, back comes this whole stupid phrase, their new life comes from death. We plant the seeds. And he pulls out the little jar of seeds, a little container of seeds she gave him back in episode 1. How does he still have that? Didn't he go to prison while he was in Orc jail digging trenches and tunnels? I'm sure they took that from him. I don't think Adar gave him back his little vial of seeds when he gave him all his weapons back. That thing should be lost to time. But he's got it so they can have their moment, and so the seeds can come back in a very stupid visual metaphor later on. They have a little talk about how they're going to survive this, we're going to do this, and then, of course, finally they kiss. Oh, we got our payoff for our favorite new couple. They kissed. Isn't it sweet? No, it's cringe and terrible because we don't care about these people. He has a character development of this much. There's nothing to him, and she's an idiot. She's a stupid whammons who has made every bad decision up to this point, and I'm going to come back to that later. She has made no correct decisions at all. Time passes. Now, here we are. It is now dusk. Here is a look at this three-housed hamlet village and a barn. Look at the terrain there. That bridge is not the only way into town. Their whole plan hinges on letting the orcs cross that bridge and get all inside so they can spring their trap. There's the old adage. All plans are perfect until the first shot is fired. Or in this case, maybe sword is swung, arrow is released. Their plan requires everything to neatly fit into place. And you look at the terrain of this. The orcs could have gone around any other angle. Could have gone anywhere on any other angle, could have come from anything. How are they so sure they're going to come across that bridge? Now, my words are going to be proven correct about how bad a strategist Bronwyn and Arondir are. They're not good strategists. They're terrible. I'm going to be proven right about how dumb it is. And I guess the showrunners don't realize how dumb they're making these two characters who they've worked so hard to make look smart and even affirm how smart they are towards the end of the episode. The dusk happens. Here comes the orcs, or what we think are orcs. They cross the bridge. There's this... We're going to kind of move quickly through this. We're going to stop at certain points of bad. But we're going to move through this because it's a lot of in the dark, shaky cam fighting. Bronwyn is hiding behind a pitch-filled hay wagon with another chick. And she can't get the flint to go on the torch. One orc sends another orc to go and check out that thing. She can't do it. The orc comes around, and Bronwyn and the other chick try to fight the orc. They just start. As he's standing on the wagon, she's still using that sickle she was using a couple episodes ago. She hits it in the foot. It turns on her, kicks her away. It jumps down. The other woman's just standing there like this, as it cuts her across the throat. It turns around, and Bronwyn has an exchange with this orc. And you can see in this freeze frame, in this still, the impact with which she was rebounded off her She's dueling it. It has a sword. She has to go. She's dueling it with a sickle. The physics don't quite work with the way they choreographed that. She's knocked down. She's way wide angle like this. You can see it there. And then she manages to come back quickly and slice it across the throat with the sickle. Yeah. She kills it because Bronwyn is mighty whammons. Takes the torch, lights the wagon, frees the wagon. The wagon rolls into town, blasts a fire everywhere, cutting off an escape. Another one happens there, and suddenly the orcs are trapped by fire on all sides. Up pops Arendir and a bunch of hicks who can suddenly shoot arrows really well. We've had no indication that these people in this bumblefuck town, village, hamlet, whatever, have any skill whatsoever with combat. I mean, yeah, you can grab anything with a pointy edge and stick it with the pointy edge, but archery takes some practice. We see no practice with the archery. None. So these guys start, Arendir and these guys, Arendir doing his, he should be hitting his fucking face when he does that. Arendir and his bowmen start pinging orcs. Everybody's winning. Here comes some melee, and we get a nice little fight. Soon, though, the orcs seem to surround and pull down, and Arendir and his couple of bowmen die. Arendir goes for a tumble and conveniently loses his sword on the way down, so we can have this. You should not be laughing when a fight scene like this begins. This show has failed on so many levels. At this point in a fight like this, where Arendir is going one-on-one with this giant orc, if you cared about Arendir, you should be going, come on, dude, come on, get him, come on, ooh, come on, no, yeah. You should be intensely involved and attached, enthralled even by this fight, not thinking about anything else. You should be into it. No, I'm sitting here laughing at this goofy-ass, poorly choreographed fight concerning a character who I'm hoping dies. Arendir, as I said, having conveniently dropped his sword on the way down and fell off his belt, has to go one-on-one in fisticuffs with this giant orc, who tosses him around like a rag doll, while he tries to do his fancy elf kung fu, which looks silly and stupid. It's just, I'm swinging my legs around, here come haymakers, boop, boop. He gets his ass handed to him. Meanwhile, we get cuts to the rest of the fight going on around town, but we keep coming back to this. This orc kicks his ass. Arendir at one point picks up a branch, somehow stabs it in the leg, then gets on its back, tries a sleeper hold, stabs it in the eye, doesn't stop the orc, and we end up in a moment where you see this coming a mile away. If you're watching this, I'm sitting here going, oh, here it comes. It's going to happen because Arendir, he's done. The orc pulls the branch out of its own eye. Its blood is dripping and spraying everywhere. And he's trying now to stab Arendir in the eye. And they're both yelling at each other. It goes on for like 20 seconds. And then suddenly the orc is dead because guess who? Before I even change the background, guess who? I'll give you 2 seconds to shout at the screen who saves him. If you guessed Baby Mama Bronwyn, you win a silver dollar. Yes, Bronwyn saves Arendir. Isn't that just what you wanted to see from this tough, strong male hero? He needed to be saved by his baby mama. I don't remember Legolas needed to be saved like that. Legolas never needed saving. Legolas kicked ass. Legolas was a real hero. This guy's a joke. These guys nothing. And again, Ismael Cruz Cordova cannot act his way out of a paper bag. The fight continues. Everybody keeps hacking, slashing, poking until everything's dead. And oh, look! Victory! Huzzah! Huzzah! But wait! Arendir notices that the blood on one of the corpses is red and not black, because orcs are black blood. They're not red. We now get revealed that mostly who they killed while there were orcs there. Oh, it was the people who went to join the orcs. You were fighting people, your own people. No, we were fighting our own people. And then, remember how I said Arendir's statement of we have the advantage was stupid? How this town, the way they set it up, this town in no way, shape, or form was defensible? Here come the arrows from the surrounding woods. People start to die. Bronwyn gets one right through the shoulder, and I went, yes! She gonna die? No, unfortunately not. Bronwyn's gonna survive. But we're watching now as everybody just get pincushion. Retreat, they say, retreat to the keep. It's a tavern. The hell are you talking about? It's a tavern. All right, we get everybody inside back in the tavern. They're all, oh, what are we going to do? Here comes Adar and all the rest of the actual orcs. Here they come, all 50 of them. Literally, I think there's only 50 of them. What about happened to the legions? Did your masterful plan of dropping one tower to cause a small avalanche killed legions of orcs? I hate this show. They're inside. Everybody else who got hit with an arrow is dead except for Bronwyn because it's a through and through, right through the shoulder, not hitting any major organs, but she is going to bleed out as they rip it apart. She starts telling Theo how to help her because remember, she's the healer of the village. Okay? They have to stop the bleeding. They pull it out. Really excessive camera work on showing her bleeding for some reason. And as they prepare to staunch the bleeding, to put pressure on it, again, remember the seeds? Remember the whole seeds will help bring life when you plant them? This is such a bad idea. This is really, these seeds are not magic. They're regular old-ass seeds. Arendir, as they're getting a hot piece of hot wood to sear shut, to basically Rambo 3 shut her wounds, he takes her, puts the seeds in the palm of his hand, takes some of her blood, smears it on the seeds, and presses it on the wound before they burn it shut. What the hell? I know I've saying that a lot lately, but what the ever-loving hell? Do you understand what it means to have those seeds enter her body like that? That kind of debris, which is clearly probably covered in bacteria, though that's not clean, and you're just going to shove it in her wound? Do you understand the infection that could happen inside her? No, but the seeds give life and he mixed it with her blood. Isn't it romantic and symbolic? No, it's stupid. Because then they burn it shut with the hot wood, sealing the seeds inside her. So now she's got the seeds flowing through her blood. What is she going to become? Poison ivy or some shit later on? I don't know. This is so stupid. That is not medical treatment. They managed to seal her wounds, but she passes out from the pain of the searing, and everybody has a good cry for about 30 seconds before she wakes back up. But all to nothing because here comes Adar and the orcs. They start banging on the door. But guess what? Help is on the way! You get it. Here comes the Númenóreans, led by Guyladriel, warrior queen. Oh, they've ridden hard through the night. They have just been full galloping all the way. Now, take note of this force. Take note. First of all, shout out to Odin Axford, who again alerted me yesterday to the cut and pasting already happening. You look close. There it is. Here and there. Yeah, there's one right there. They cut and pasted again. They copy and pasted, cut, copy, paste, however you want to say it. They did it again. Did they think we weren't going to notice? Internet autism. It's a thing. People will notice. We're going to go over that more on This Is Mordor Country tomorrow night, 7:30, right here on this channel. I hope you join us. I really hope you do. Here comes the Númenóreans. All right, let's look at this for a second here. Where did all those horses come from? Last week on Mordor Country, I said I want to see the mustering grounds where they have gotten the horses off those ships. How did they get the horses off the ships? Those ships were not designed to disembark horses. And where are they on the... Where were they? Look how... Let's believe the cut and paste for a moment. Let's just believe that that's how many there really are. Those ships were not holding that many horses. They were not. And also, where are the supplies? Where are supplies? And think about it. I said this earlier. You cannot ride full gallop through the night. They say it's a day away. I bet it's actually more. Those horses should be exhausted. The people should be exhausted. These idiots in charge of this show do not understand what it means to have a fighting force ready for battle. Remember from Return of the King, we will rest here so that both man and horse will have enough strength for battle. And Rohan, that's a true army of cavalry. They understood supply lines, troops, isn't that? This is stupid. Guyladriel, warrior queen, at the head of her army. And you can see the moobs and the boobs. It's a female army too, guys. Although you're going to notice in the coming battle sequence, I don't see any female Numenorians actually fighting. It's all the men. I don't see any women's in that fight. Numenorians are coming. They are going to make it in time. They sailed across from Numenor to Middle-earth in a single night. They are going to make it in time to save this pathetic excuse for a village. I know. It's really that bad. It is really that bad. Cut back to the village in the keep. Adar and his orcs bust in very easily. A couple people die, and now it's basically, where is the sword-hilt key? Arondir refuses to tell. Even when Bronwyn is threatened, he refuses to tell. Bronwyn staring defiantly. She's ready for death because she's baby mama Bronwyn. She's given birth to a child. You don't know what that pain is like, so you shut up. She's strong and powerful. We know who cracks. Badass teenage mustache Theo. His mom's about to die, so he cracks. I could believe that. But it's still pretty lame because in the end, the whole situation is lame. Theo watched where Arondir hid the sword key. He watched. Guess where he hid it? Right there. Right there. Don't take the time to hide it somewhere really obscure where nobody could possibly, when looting or doing anything, when destroying property, find it. No, I'm going to hide it under a stone in the keep. Theo pries up a stone. Hand goes, I'm sorry. Gotta save my mom. Gotta save mother. Gotta save mother. Gives over the sword key to Adar, and Adar's all ecstatic because now he has the key. The key to what? Oh, you're going to find out real soon. But his victory is short-lived. You hear the thumping. Here come the Numenorians with bad CGI cavalry running over the bridge into town. And so begins round 2 of the battle for this stupid little village. Really bad choreography abounds. Characters are holding one weapon 1 second, and then suddenly they're holding another weapon. A lot of bad stuff, a lot of horrible choreography. We'll go over it tomorrow on Mordor Country, you rest assured. Or if it's another point in time when you're watching this, go check out Mordor Country. Watch us tear this shit apart. Either way, really stupid battle. It's dumb. It looks terrible, sounds terrible. People getting knocked off horses. Guyladriel, warrior queen, doing horse acrobatics to her awesome theme. We cut to Miriel and her honor guard watching, and you see Isildur's there, and Isildur clearly wants to get in there. She just turns and says, go. And Isildur's off to the races. Right down there. Sees his father in trouble, is trying to get to him. Again, really bad CGI, bad choreography. Elendil's in trouble, but gets saved by Halbrand Sauron. Why is Halbrand Sauron saving people if he's Sauron? Oh, we're going to get there. We're going to get there. You just wait. It is so nice and simple to see. Meanwhile, Adar realizes everything's gone to pot. He needs to get a dodge with the sword key. Starts to get away, but here comes Guyladriel, warrior queen, riding in on her horse. She looks down, and there's Arendir, and now here's where I have to admit I was wrong. I was completely wrong on something. I said way back when, earlier on in these reviews, that there was no way this bad fan fiction of made-up characters could legitimately interact with actual characters in points of lore. Well, obviously I'm wrong, because now this story arc has indeed melded with Guyladriel, Warrior Princess's arc, when it shouldn't have, because, if you haven't figured out, this entire section of the story is fan fiction. It never happened. It never happened. And the key moment at the end of the episode proves it never happened, because it's all to build up to this fanfic false history moment in Amazon's Lord of the Rings. This whole battle scene is to get to this moment here, where Arendir says in Elvish to her, that guy right there, he's their commander, he's their leader. He has an item you can't let him get away with. Guyladriel says, all right, says something, she's off the race, and then there's Theo. Suddenly Theo is there next to Arendir. Well, here you go. Enjoy this. This is the badass, awesome moment. They were probably wetting themselves with joy when they shot this scene.
Ken,
Who is that?
Commander of the Northern Armies, Guyladriel.
Oh, the cringe is real. The cringe is 12 out of 10. How horrible is that? That is Commander of the Northern Armies, Guyladriel. And Theo then has a hard-on as he watches her right away. And she has to do more horse acrobatics. All of this is done to show you how awesome Guyladriel is. Guyladriel, warrior queen, she is the best as ever. She has earned your respect and loyalty because she's commander of the Northern Armies. He is in awe of her. He will cheat on Bronwyn with her if the opportunity arose. And we know who Theo's thinking about later that night when he's got his dick in his hand. He's thinking about Guyladriel because, yeah, he likes dick daggers. Oh, this is... How cringe. Every time you think this show can't get any cringier, they say something like that to just shine the light. How they are so desperate for you to like Guyladriel, warrior queen. They are so desperate to put her in a badass moment like that where everybody's just in awe of her. Oh, we're not done. We're almost done, but we're not done. Guyladriel, warrior queen, charges off on her horse. I think it's the same horse she was riding back in Numenor, honestly. She's whispering to it to make it go faster to catch up to Adar. Oh, it's kind of like when Arwen was whispering to her horse to run faster to escape the Nazgul in Fellowship. She catches up, and it looks like Adar's going to break into an open thicket, but Halbrand Sauron, he caught on too, and he somehow got ahead. How did he beat them to that point? Running through a forest like that. Because he's Sauron, and he teleported there. That's how. They corner him. Halbrand Sauron uses his spear to trip up the horse. Don't worry, the horse is fine. Horse gets up, walks away. Adar's on the ground, trying to reach the wrapped up sword key, but then Halbrand stabs him through the hand, and for the first time he realized, hey, that's black blood coming out of his hand. Halbrand Halbrand. He kicks him over, looks at him, goes, do you remember who I am? And for a moment, you're going to think, oh, see, we're Stans, and if you're a Stan, oh, look, he's not Sauron. Look how angry he is at this guy. Just wait a minute. Just wait. Adar goes, no, I don't remember you. Did I perhaps kill someone you love? List possibilities. And Halron is about to kill his ass. But Guyladriel says, no, Halbrand, stop. I need him alive. Remember, she says, I need him alive. Remember that. She is hot to have him alive. Well, they take Adar prisoner. They get the sword key. Victory is ours. Everybody's celebrating. Then they're passing out drinks. Where did they get those drinks from? Nobody has supplies. The village had nothing. Where did they get those drinks from and the food with which they are eating? Because those Numenorians did not have a supply train with them. They rode all night to get there. Nope, don't think. Just consume. Quick, pointless clip of Isildur and his two buddies celebrating, and Lieutenant Buddy says to Isildur, we're going to be sent on a mission to go scouting. I want you to come with me. And other guy says, no, I don't want to go. I've seen enough fighting to last me a lifetime. One battle, that's enough for me. One sloppy-ass battle where he almost died because he's... we'll go over it tomorrow night. He doesn't want any part of it, but Isildur and his Lieutenant Buddy, they're ready to go off. But first, we have to celebrate some more. Now, it's interrogation time. And here is where I think some lore breaking has happened. We are sitting there. Guyladriel Warrior Queen is interrogating Adar. And she asks him, long story short, we discover that Adar, father, is a father because he's the original one of the original corrupted elves by Morgoth. He's one of the original elves that were corrupted, and he says, I'm not an elf, I'm an Uruk. We prefer Uruk. So literally, when all those orcs are calling him father, he is their daddy. Apparently, he kept humping things and spawning orcs. Okay. I think that's probably massively lore wrong, but here we are. It's Amazon Lord of the Rings. We have to roll with it to continue this review. And now Guyladriel's busy pressing him for where's Sauron? Where's Sauron? You're not the head commander. You're just this. You're that. You're not. You have to report to somebody else. He tells this story of how back at the Tundra Fortress, back from episode 1, the Guyladriel where she killed the ice troll, that was where Sauron had gathered people and he was doing horrible experiments on Adar's children. And Adar couldn't take it anymore. So he killed Sauron. And Sauron's dead. Guyladriel doesn't buy it. Starts to threaten him, tell me the truth, and get a lot of really weird close-ups of the two. And eventually she breaks. And after giving a really long-winded speech about how I'm going to keep you alive as I kill all your children. I'm going to make you watch me kill every other orc in existence, and then and only then, when you're the last one, then I'll kill you. Once you have the knowledge, all your spawn is dead. And he then gives the line, mayhap, he didn't say mayhap, but I'm saying mayhap, you need not look for Sauron's replacement farther than the mirror, for you are darkness too, and some shit like that. And that's what is the breaking point for her, because then after saying she's going to keep him alive, she almost kills him. She whips out her dick dagger and puts it at his neck, but Halbrand Sauron stops her. Oh. Now let's dissect all that for a second. Because now we're going to go to the opening Gambit clip that I played. We're going to talk about that, but we have to talk about this. Halbrand is Sauron. Adar didn't recognize him because if you believe this stupidity that they've concocted for this show, he killed the physical form that he last saw Sauron inhabit. So Halbrand Sauron's new look would of course be unfamiliar, and that's why he's so angry. That's why he was ready to kill him, because he wanted revenge. Halbrand is Sauron. Halbrand is Sauron. Why is he killing all those orcs? Because he hates Adar and that particular spawn of his orcs. He hates those orcs. That's why he's killing them. That's why he wants revenge on Adar, because Adar ganked him when he wasn't looking. You catching on? Halbrand is Sauron, and in 2 episodes we're gonna have that confirmed. I pretty much guarantee it. Anyway, now we go outside. Guyladriel's sitting on a log, contemplating things, and they have this big speech. She says, whatever he did, whatever you've done, you need to let it go. We've seen part of that before in trailers. And now it's basically Halbrand Sauron goes on this long-winded thing. You saw part of it in my very opening first clip of the review, basically saying Guyladriel Warrior Princess is his rock. Being near her gives him purpose. And he is so connected for her. And you saw her say, I do too. Basically, they do what you call in anime a double confession of their feelings. They just confess their feelings for each other, and they're so close to effing, they're almost there, but somebody interrupts it. They might have gotten down and dirty right there, because you could feel it. The thirst has reached the peak. They want it. They want to get it on. They get interrupted because the queen wants to see Guyladriel Warrior Princess. Guyladriel Warrior Queen. Sorry, Guyladriel Warrior Queen. They're gonna F. We got 2 episodes left. There's still time for them to F before the big reveal that Halbrand is Sauron. There is still time. There's still time. I'm telling you, there's time. There has to be. But here, either way, you see they build this whole scene of, look, she's in love with him and he's in love with her. Isn't it so beautiful? Because he's Sauron. He's gonna put a Tempest up her ass. Let's forget she's married. She has a daughter. No mention to any of that. I think probably next episode is where we're going to get, I had a husband. That thing. That's going to happen. She's supposed to be married with kid. But no, she's got to be free so Sauron can drill her in the ass. We cut now to, this is my absolute favorite. This is one of my absolute. Remember how I went on and on earlier how Baby Mama Bronwyn is horrible at everything she does. That's not going to stop the affirmation from flowing.
What I owe you. My people are alive because of you.
As I understand it, they are alive because of you.
A burden I never sought to take up.
Few of the finest leaders do.
What has Bronwyn ever done to be a good leader? Let's see. She cut the head off an orc and then told everybody to leave the village and go to the watchtower without bringing any supplies. Had no plan how to survive and defend the watchtower. Repeatedly had no plan, no ideas whatsoever how to deal with the oncoming orc army. Leaves everybody to go suddenly teleport and appear when badass teenage mustache Theo is on the run with Arendir from the village. Then is a party to one of the most contrived, everything has to fit perfectly into place plans to defend that village, which is completely indefensible. They can come at all angles and surround you. We saw the picture earlier. Has had no good ideas. But she's a great leader because another failure of a Whammons leader told her so. And up until that point, Bechdel test approved. They're not talking about a man. They're having a complete conversation about just women. Bronwyn is a horrible character who has no idea what she's doing. Yet she's being praised for nearly getting everybody killed. Unbelievable. This conversation peters out because then Mariel says, oh, you've got your actual king here. Here comes Sauron Halbrand. And again, all Bronwyn has to do is look down and see the pouch with the insignia on it, with the symbol on it, and say, are you the king we were promised? And suddenly, yes, I'm your king. I'm Sauron, I'm your king. And everybody going, yay, they're drinking with the drinks and the food that we don't know where it all came from. Meanwhile, you get a quick little exchange between Arendir and Guyladriel Warrior Queen, where Arendir says these people have earned this, and Guyladriel says so have the elves. It's meaningless drivel. Cut to Isildur trying to take care of his wounded horse. And here comes Elendil, and you get one of the weirdest unearned exchanges. They're gonna fix their daddy issues now. That's all this. The daddy issues are resolved when Elendil gives him a speech about how a horse bonds with its rider and its master, and it consents it. And then he says, Isildur goes, "Where did you hear that?" Elendil says, "Your mother told it to me." And everything's okay, and they hug. CW bullshit. Let's wrap up the daddy issues because the season's almost over. The daddy issues we manufactured for no reason whatsoever. Return to what's next? Let me look. Okay, all right. Now, Arondir and Theo are sitting side by side. Now, I'm about to break your brain in terms of how did this happen again. Another how did this happen out of nowhere. Arondir is telling Theo, "You did well, this and that." Theo goes, "No, I feel bad because I feel guilty about all kinds of things, not because I had to give up the dagger, because I desired the dagger. I'm sorry, the sword. Sword key. I keep calling it a dagger because it looks like a dagger when you hold it. The sword key, because it made me feel powerful." And Daddy Arondir says, "Don't worry, you're powerful on your own. Here's how you're going to feel more powerful. Why don't you give the sword key to the Númenóreans so they can toss it in the sea as they go home?" If you didn't see this coming, as badass teenage mustache Theo begins to unwrap the key, he discovers it's not. It's just it's an axe. Now, if we go back a little bit in time, the last person to hold this was Guyladriel Warrior Queen. She was the last one holding it while she was talking to Halbrand Sauron. When did she give it to somebody else? When did Arondir get his hands on it? And when could the switch have possibly happened? Because guess who actually has it? Oh, Old Man Sauron worshiper has it. And he has, in this brief moment of time, made it, because he was in town when the Númenóreans attacked. He was in town. You saw him earlier. I didn't show you the screen cap, but he was there with Adar. He has gone back to the keep. He has created it to make to full length sword key. The sword is fully hard and ready to be driven into the hole. Magically, the hole has not been covered by debris because last we saw, the tower was falling apart and the whole damn watchtower area was covered in rocks. But no, the key hole is ready to have that sword thrust into it and turned sharply to find the right spot. And now things happen. Here's major lore break. We had lore break last episode. Why not stop there? While everybody is celebrating, but I'm going to ask you. Okay, I'm going to ask the question: how did he get it? How did he get it when that key sword was in the hands of elves? From Guyladriel to, let's just say Guyladriel handed it off to Arondir. Let's just say that happened off camera. You telling me Guyladriel got pickpocketed by Old Man Sauron worshiper? Are you telling me that? No, the obvious answer that we have to now make for ourselves is Halbrand Sauron did a whammy. Some point between Guyladriel Warrior Queen having it and interrogating it. He did it at some point. But it has to be done off camera so that we can have our surprise moment. So that you can hide that he's Sauron or somebody said. Either way, this is so supremely absurd. This was what this whole battle was fought over, and somebody carelessly, let's just say Sauron Halbrand didn't do the switch. Let's say Old Man Worshipper got his hands on it on his own. How? Show me. No, we need to have it be surprised when Theo opens it and it's an axe so we can cut the Old Man Sauron worshiper triggering the device of the watchtower. Do you understand how badly organized and written this all is? Anyway, what happens? The key releases a dam of water from someplace. And now the water comes rushing down, and here's where they did get me. They got me. I didn't see it coming. The trenches were not tunnels or tunnels were not meant for the orcs to travel by. It was a network of, for lack of a better term, an aqueduct network, a sewage network that would allow the dammed water to rush to the pockets of magma beneath the mountain in the distance, which is Mount Doom, apparently. Oh! Guess what? We're watching the birth of Mount Doom because, of course, all that water slamming into the magma is going to cause a chain reaction. I'm not sure about the science. I got a D in geology in college, so don't ask me if that science is correct. But, yeah, I got a D. I barely got that D. I hated that class. It causes a chain reaction that causes Mount Doom to erupt, and water starts spurting up all over town, and everybody's carrying, and then here comes fireballs shooting from everything, and nobody knows what's going on. Oh my God, to the queen! Find this! Theo! Where's Theo? I don't know! Oh my God, everything's chaotic! And here comes the massive smoke of debris and fire and lava, and Guyladriel, warrior queen, just stands there and watches it approach. Episode... At least we know we're definitely getting Cheetos covered Guyladriel next week. Well, here you go, guys. That was something, wasn't it? That was incredibly bad. We had no concept of the passage of time or the distances of the geography of Middle-earth in Amazon's Rings of Power. People are behaving stupidly. The key to everything right now magically appears in an old man's hand when Guyladriel, warrior queen, obviously had her hands on it. Sauron is about to win everything. And hey, Team Sauron, these people deserve their benevolent overlord. They deserve every goddamn thing that's going to happen to them because they're all horrible. This entire episode was built up to make Guyladriel look awesome in that moment. Who is that? That was the commander of the Northern Armies, Guyladriel. All of this manufactured fan fiction, because this was all fan fiction. This entire episode was one giant lore break. All of it. And on top of everything, the thirst and the lust of these people are starting to stem out of control. We are so close to Guyladriel and Halbrand Sauron getting it on. We're this close. We're almost there. We are inches away from penetration. It's almost going to happen. Please. I just want this. I need this. This must happen. I have to have this. Because they did a double confession. I need you. I feel it too. You're going to feel it all right, honey. I hate this. But we got 2 more episodes to go. As I've been saying, join us Saturday, every Saturday, as long as this is going on at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on this channel for This Is Mordor Country, where myself and a panel will dissect this whole show, every episode, and tell you why it's bad from beginning to end. There is nothing good about this. It's all horrible. Just like Guyladriel, warrior queen. Okay, I'm done. Thank you for watching this review. If you enjoyed it, remember to please hit that like button, comment away, and I will see you guys next week and at This Is Mordor Country. Take it easy, everybody. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you want to get in touch with me, you can reach out to me at therentnerd@gmail.com. That email's for channel business only, so I check it on a daily basis. Also, you can find me at the Geeks and Gamers forums under @ROAS, and you can find me at Rumble and Odyssey, The Renaissance Nerd. Thank you again. See you next time.